All right, welcome back. This is NS-27 mission, and we are at minute and a half to go. As you saw, the bridge for our would-be astronauts. There's no crew flying today. We've got some payloads aboard today, but that bridge is what carries our crew members into the crew capsule, and that just retracted. That shows that the auto sequence has started, and we're going to look at these final bit checks that are going to happen right now as we get ready for launch. And here's that hold. We mentioned this. There's a variable launch sequence here that's going to result in a few expected holds along the way. There's a few tests going on that the team is going to be working on here. So we will keep you posted as this hold progresses. But meanwhile, Maggie, can you tell us about some of the bit checks and the final checks that happen, and what is the team looking for?
Yeah, Joel, I think when we clear this hold, we'll expect to see the wiggling of those aft fins. The aft fins, of course, at the base of the rocket are used to help steer the vehicle on its ascent and descent. We'll see that engine gimbal a little bit, show off some of that control that we have with the VE3 engine. And then we will expect to see full terminal count.
That hold is now cleared. And so some of the cameras that we normally have a little bit closer up are giving us a little bit of trouble, so we're staying on this wider view. But if you look very closely, you might see some movement at the base of the rocket there. T-minus 30 seconds to go here.
The panoramic view is nothing to sneeze at, Joel.
No, we do love those West Texas mountains. And New Shepard has cleared the tower and is heading to space. You see our mission countdown is a little misaligned with the actual countdown clock there, and that's okay. We are heading up to space now. New Shepard is flying through the atmosphere. BE3 is providing 100% power level at this point. So next up, we're going to be ascending through the zone we call max Q, and this is the point at which the atmospheric pressure on the vehicle is at its maximum. So this is a critical part. The BE3 engine is going to pull back just a little bit in terms of its thrust as we punch through that zone. These are the first views that we're getting of this brand new rocket and that shiny new livery as it flies to space. And there we go, we've passed max Q. Now BE3 is going to punch back up to 100% power level, which is going to help the rocket move faster and faster up through the atmosphere. Right now we're at 50,000 feet and climbing, just approaching about 1,000 miles an hour.
So as we keep watching the propulsion module head to space, you see those racing stripes at work. Right now, if there were to be astronauts on board, they would be experiencing about 3 Gs, so enough to know that you're really on a ride. Of course, today we only have payloads in the capsule.
We're approaching 100,000 feet now, about 1,500 miles an hour. Now, one of the next milestones that we're going to come up to here will be MECO. That's main engine cutoff, and that's when the vehicle stops thrusting forward and will start coasting into space. 165,000 feet. We've approached 2,000 miles an hour. And that view on the left, okay, so there's MECO. We've just shut off the main engines. And now the vehicle is going to be coasting on its way, on its journey up to space. The views that astronauts would be getting if they were looking out the windows on a flight like today would be just spectacular at this point.
Oh, and you can see that 0G indicator at the bottom of your screen, indicating that the capsule has reached
Yep, and we
0G.
see separation now through that right side of your screen. You see the capsule is now separating in distance away from the booster. This is the moment that the ride to space is all about, really, for payloads or future astronauts that will be riding on this vehicle.
So each of our payloads is going to be collecting some amount of data, and of course those postcards are getting their own 0G moment.
About 3.5 minutes into the flight, we are approaching the Kármán line at this point. New Shepard is, you can see the velocity, the miles per hour is decreasing now on the left side as we approach the apogee moment. All right, now we're seeing on the left side of your chart, we're seeing a new set of data. This is the data that tracks the booster's descent. The booster is finding its own apogee moment, and in a moment it's going to start descending. All right, it has hit its apogee and is now descending back to West Texas. Meanwhile, the crew capsule is continuing to ascend to its own apogee, giving plenty of 0G time to those payloads on board. All right, the booster is now at below 300,000 feet and descending. You can see it's picking up speed as it falls. Now the booster's shape is designed to be more aerodynamic, so between the two vehicles, the booster is going to win the race back to the ground, back to West Texas.
So the booster will land about 2 miles north of where it launched off the launch pad. And we're gonna see it aiming its way back there. What we're anticipating next is the deployment of some of our wedge fins. You'll see that on the forward. We'll see the telemetry on the left there highlight that that's happening. So we're looking for deployment of our control surfaces as we continue our descent.
So far we're looking at a nominal flight. This is the NS-27 mission, the first flight of an all-new vehicle, an all-new booster, all-new crew capsule for our fleet.
And there we have it. The wedge fins have deployed, and so as the booster makes its way back down to launch site 1, it'll be helping maintain stability on its descent using those fins and the general aerodynamic shape of our rocket.
We're at max re-entry velocity at this point, just under Mach 4, and those wedge fins, as you've noted, are going to start decreasing the speed of the vehicle as the vehicle is encountering more and more atmosphere on its way back to West Texas. It looks like a nice and smooth descent. That's a great shot right there from our long-range camera back in the ground. The wedge fins, steering fins, the ring fins, they're all working together to guide that booster home. Next up, we're going to see the drag brakes inside the ring fin. They're going to deploy, and that's going to dramatically cut that speed of the booster back down.
Should be about by half, and we'll see that here.
There we go. There's those drag brakes. They're going to increase the surface area, and that speed of that booster is dropping rapidly, as expected. There's the sonic boom that we hear on descent.
And there we have engine relight.
The landing legs are deploying.
That new Shepard hover.
And touchdown. Welcome home, New Shepard.
New Shepard's landing of the booster continues to be one of our just proudest moments here at Blue Origin. It's really symbolic of just the incredible engineering that is going into building, designing, and operating this rocket so that we can bring it safely home from space.
It never gets old. I swear, every time I see that booster landing, it gives my heart a boost.
And you know, for the folks in Texas, this is both the end of the booster's journey to space today, but the start of its next recycle.
Let's wait now as the team reacquires the view of our crew capsule.
And there we have the capsule. The drogues have deployed. We'll see that capsule start to slow down as it descends into the valley on launch site 1. It looks like the main chutes are out, so we are zoomed in here on the capsule, but if we were to zoom out, you'd see those 3 beautiful red and blue main parachutes.
Yeah, there they are right there. Beautiful.
So those parachutes are essential in providing that gentle touchdown for the capsule, both for our payloads today and future astronauts. In addition to the parachutes, New Shepard features a retro thrust system that's on the base of the capsule. So to make the final touchdown even smoother, you'll see that burst of air. If you've ever seen a New Shepard launch, it's a very characteristic moment.
And now we are getting a little bit of a choppy feed on the video, but the telemetry is coming through here, so you can see that the capsule is descending. There's the mountain range behind the capsule. 16, 17 miles an hour is the totally nominal descent at this point for the mission.
But those retro thrusters should take that down to just a few miles an hour, a very easy descent. Within 200 feet.
And touchdown. You see that plume of dust in the desert that is caused by that last puff of air that comes out of the capsule at the very last second. Wow, welcome home, New Shepard. This was a great mission, great day watching this new vehicle fly to space and back. This moment, of course, culminates every mission when the crew capsule touches down. This is normally when we're welcoming home our astronauts that are going to be on board, and hopefully very soon we'll see astronauts on board this vehicle. I want to say welcome to the fleet for this brand new vehicle. And you know, all of this, when we're broadcasting these missions, it's really all about the human spaceflight, the age of human spaceflight that's really opening up here. And these New Shepard missions, it's really all about whether you would like to fly to space on New Shepard and purchase a seat on a future ride to space. Maggie, tell our viewers, what do they do to start that journey?
Sure, Joel. If you're interested in flying on New Shepard, you only have to visit blueorigin.com. You'll see a button there in the corner that you can click that says